Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit True Off My Chest and it's by user FrenchBread2023. Friend is mad because my husband complimented her? A good friend of mine broke up with her boyfriend of 6 years after she discovered he was cheating. They broke up between Thanksgiving and Christmas last year, so she's been single for around 4 months. She has recently decided to get back into dating, but she wanted the first date to be a double date for her own comfort. Her date was completely on board and they invited my husband and me. We met at a restaurant. My husband and I arrived first and my friend showed up soon after. Before her date arrived, my husband made a comment to her. "That dress looks elegant on you. The color is unique." Here's the thing about my husband and his family. They give compliments. It's never sexual or over the top, but they will occasionally give nice comments to people they know and trust, regardless of gender, and they do it sensibly in my opinion. And it's not always about appearances. It's one of the things that attracts me to him. The dinner went well, we thought. My friend's date seemed to hit it off with her, but the next day, my friend texted me this. "You need to tell your husband to stop making comments about other women. That's how affairs start." I told her, "You're right that affairs can start that way, but I promise you, that's not what's happening here." She responded, "As someone who was cheated on, trust me, I know. I can't believe you are okay with," my husband, "looking at my dress. I was pissed off for you." And I replied, "Why are you pissed off for me when I'm not even upset in the slightest? You don't know him super well, but I do, and he gives honest and innocent compliments regularly. You can tell him if that makes you uncomfortable, he'll understand." She replied with, "I roll. Don't come crying to me when you catch him with another woman. Red flags." I haven't replied. I'm at a complete loss for how to approach this. Well, OP, one thing's pretty clear. Your friend shouldn't be dating. She's still clearly hurt. It's only been, 4 months after a 6-year relationship that she got cheated on? I honestly don't think she's gone through the 5 stages of grieving the relationship yet. I think she's still in the anger phase or something. I mean, your husband's comment was incredibly impersonal, and it was such a nice comment hey, that dress looks really nice. The color is really cool. Had nothing to do with her. It was the dress. But in her current mindset, she took that impersonal nice comment and transformed it into, "Hey, I want to sleep with you," or something like that. So here's what I would do. Assuming the friendship is one of those strong bond, almost family type of friendships, I would react to her last message with a thumbs up, and then later ask her if she'd like to get a coffee or something and talk. And then talk to her about how she's doing. Maybe she'll give you a hint or something. If not, man, you can just tell her that you're worried about her. Hopefully, she'll be receptive. If not, well, then she needs her space to go through her process. You can't help someone solve a problem when it's not a problem to them. And what do you guys think about this whole situation? What is your opinion on the comment? Was it too personal or impersonal enough to just be nice? Also, what would you do if you were in OP's shoes, or what kind of advice would you give her? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they had to say. WolfieLove144 says, "She has no trust for any man because one broke her heart. That being said, it does not give room for her to put her own insecurities on everyone else. Then be bitter when you stand firm and trust with your husband." A great response would be, "Not every man will be like your ex. If you think a compliment is open territory for cheating, I think you should get some help before dating again. It is clear you have trust issues, and if you don't heal a wound another person created, you'll bleed on others who had nothing to do with it." Checo314 says, quote, "That's how affairs start. As someone who was cheated on, trust me, I know." End quote. As somebody who was cheated on, how on earth would she know how the affair started? And I'm not an expert in how affairs start, having never been a part of one, but I very much doubt that they start with an innocuous compliment while on a double date with one's wife. Your friend understandably has some baggage associated with her last breakup. She is trying to take that baggage with her on double dates. Stop going on double dates. Your husband did nothing wrong. And OP responds, "I agree. I am happy to go with her to group events if her date comes along, but my husband will not be near her for some time." My name isn't Zach. Okay, Zach. I got complimented today by a married woman. I was buying groceries and she said my jacket was cute. It was overwhelming. The sexual tension was insane. I can't believe a married woman would make advances on me like that. Sorry, I just had to put myself in the mind of your friend. That's a weird way to think. I'd separate myself from her. A simple compliment is just that, a simple compliment. But this was actually just a humble brag about me getting complimented today. It made my year. Crying face. I'm compliment starved. Samantha's grandma says, sometimes when you're attacked by a bear, then every wild animal looks like a bear. She is still hurting. She is also, in getting back into dating, acutely aware that she'll need to trust someone again, and she's afraid of what that may mean, afraid it will happen again. Unfortunately, your friend would say that she's trying to protect you from the pain she has felt. She's actually doing what I call scatterblasting, attacking everything that might be related to cheating because she's not over it. To her, everything is still a bear. And Opie responds, I know that's how the brain works. It's for our protection and, if processed correctly, we'll eventually be able to separate the bears from the kittens. I'm learning her brain isn't there yet. Additional information from Opie's comments. Funnily enough, when we were on the way, my husband even asked, how do I appropriately be a wingman for a woman? He comes from a long line of very respectable men on both sides. I told him not to worry about it and let me do that part. He was also very careful with his compliment. He said the dress looked elegant on her. That tells me, in fact, not focusing on her body, but on the dress itself and the color. And this I said to her, if his compliment made her uncomfortable outside of the cheating speculation, then she can tell him himself. We are too old for the he said, she said stuff. I think he's secure enough that he wouldn't be too upset, but it might tip him off to be careful around her, if and when they interact again. I did think of backing away from her before she accuses my husband of something horrendous. Obviously, my first priority is to keep him safe. That said, I think she is going through the anger phase of a heartbreak. Hey, I said that. We're not the first people she's lashed out at recently, and it's very unlike her. She's not seeing a therapist currently, but some of her closer friends have suggested it to her. She really was traumatized by being cheated on. Still, I'll keep it in mind is something I pondered sending back to her last message. Just to acknowledge that I read her concern without accepting it, but I didn't reply to it. By the way, I just want to say thank you. I'm not saying stop giving me your many good thoughts that have given me much to ponder. So here's what I have gathered so far. 1. My friend is projecting. This makes sense. I think projection confuses me and I didn't recognize it in this case, but now I do and it absolutely checks out. 2. My husband will not be having any interactions with her for the time being. She's more my friend than his, so he won't be feeling left out. Regardless, it's worth it if it means she doesn't get to accuse him of anything. 3. The more I read comments, the angrier I get at her allegation. I didn't fully comprehend that she saw my husband as a cheater, and I'm not okay with that at all. He was just being his kind self. And 4, I agree with giving her space for now, and if she wants to come back when she's feeling and being better, then I may have a talk with her about how problematic this was, while also empathizing with her, because I know she's hurting. I'm still gaining perspective and getting lots to think about and consider. For instance, I have changed my mind in that I am going to tell my husband what has transpired, but I will do so tomorrow when he's well rested and all that. I plan to just let him read the texts and talk through his feelings on the matter with me. I now know that is important for him to know so that he and I together can protect him from any accusations or whatever. This isn't something that should be sprung on him suddenly, and I want to make sure I get his thoughts and feelings regarding how to proceed. Opie's short-term update. Good day everyone. Wow, this post really caught a lot of attention. I appreciate everyone's thoughts. Many have shared wisdom and perspective that I did not have. Here's a bit of an update. My husband now knows. Over breakfast, I showed him the text messages. Initially, he just said, "What the hell?" But then he reread them, and I think it got to him a little as his facial expression got more serious and attentive. Then he said, "That's disgusting. You know I'd never cheat or compliment someone to cheat, right?" I told him, "Yes, of course. That's all that matters. Don't smell what she's stepping in. She can work on that in therapy." Thank you all again. Initially, I wasn't going to tell him, but I'm glad I did. Your thoughts helped me to change my mind. I am still not going to respond to my friend, but if she reaches out for anything, then I will tell her we need to resolve this first. Alright, well, the community gave OP a lot to think about apparently because, well, OP said so. She gathered a lot of information and she told her husband, which now is aware of everything that's going on. So now let's move on to the update to see what happened next and how this story ends. But before that, here's another one of my playlists for you to enjoy after this video. Now let's move on with that update. First of all, thank you to so many of you who shared your thoughts and support on the post I made yesterday. I've been blown away by the show of kindness and interest from internet strangers. To make things easier to follow, I'll name my friend Kate and a mutual friend we have, Julie. So a couple of things to note have transpired since the incident that occurred over the weekend. 1. My husband called me on his lunch break and honestly sounded a little alert, like shaken up. When he opened Facebook today, he found a friend request from my friend. Now, neither of us wants to jump to conclusions. He doesn't check Facebook often and it doesn't say when she sent him the request. I want to assume it was before the double date. Regardless, he declined it. 2. Unfortunately, some of you were right and my friend Kate involved someone else. A mutual friend, Julie, sent me screenshots. To my knowledge, this is the only person she's talked to. Kate said she felt like my husband was looking at her and it was ick as F, and she asked Julie what to do. Julie pleaded with her not to do or say anything and Kate agreed not to, but this conversation happened before she texted me, so she lied. I thanked Julie for letting me know and sent the following message to Kate. Some of my wording was inspired by people who took the time to share their thoughts on the original post. Hey, I've thought about what you said and I'm very not okay with it. You said when I find my husband with another woman, not if, which tells me you have already judged him as unfaithful over a completely innocent and well-intentioned compliment, which is normal for him. I've cherished your friendship, but I don't think I can be close with someone who thinks my life partner is unfaithful. I say this with love, but perhaps because you have been burned, and you have absolutely been burned, now every light looks like a fire to you. My hope and prayer is that you heal from what's been broken. Maybe after some healing or some counseling we can talk, but for now, I think I need to create some distance because I am feeling very hurt by your comments. Nothing but hope for the best for you. I concluded the text with a link to an article on projection. She didn't respond, and I'm fine with that because I definitely don't have the emotional capacity to respond if she does, and I don't want to talk to Julie about it because I don't want to be a wrench in her friendship with Kate. Anyway, I went to sleep after that and my husband had gone out with his cousin tonight and woke me up when he got home. He showed me his phone and there was a $40 payment on his Cash App from Kate that he did not request. Now, we covered like 75% of the bill at the restaurant we went to because we had a gift card. We wanted to use all of it and it covered part of the bill but not all of it. The date paid for the rest of theirs. We never discussed getting anything back. She and I have exchanged money Cash App before because I've paid her to do my nails, so I don't know why she sent the money to him and it actually scares me now. My initial thought was she was just being petty after I messaged her that I need space. My husband's concerns are that 1, if he sends it back, it's a financial transaction with a paper trail between him and a woman who is supposedly convinced he's unfaithful to me and interested in her. And 2, if he keeps it, she'll use it as an excuse to continue contact. Maybe she was just being nice and paying us back, but I'm not convinced. Why would she pay for the full amount and not just the difference between our meals and theirs? My brain hurts. Anyway, my decision was made because my top priority is to protect my husband. She has already decided in her mind that he is guilty of cheating, and I'm sorry, but once that kind of accusation gets out about a man, it can be life-changing, and I will not stand for that to happen. Yesterday, before the money situation happened, I texted her and told her that after thinking about her initial concern, I wanted some space and time to allow both of us to heal and to prevent anything from getting more awkward or hurtful, and at the time, I did invite her to reach out if she ever wanted to talk. The door was open. But after she brought it up to our mutual friend a second time, making the same accusation, and after sending my husband money without clearly stating why, it was just too much. He was becoming increasingly uncomfortable, worried that a false accusation of some kind was coming, and I was getting angrier at her persistent belief that he is unfaithful when all he did was compliment her dress. I honestly felt like I needed to straight up tell her not to contact me or him in any way at this point. So after some broken sleep, I texted her one last time saying, "Do not contact us anymore. Be well." I just wanted to get all this out in one place, so hopefully we can all move the hell on. Mods, I apologize if any rules have been broken. Thank you for allowing me this cathartic space to release this. I feel hurt and torn and bludgeoned by the suddenness of all of this. Going from having a good friend to no longer trusting them in 3 to 4 days is a lot. I still empathize because she lost a trusting relationship with a significant other of 6 years, and I can only imagine the toll of it is what's causing this confusing behavior. Regardless, we are done with it and I am spent. OP's final update. Hubby is going to let the transaction time out, so she is going to get the money back. But she sent him another effing friend request on Facebook. Today, crying face. I am beyond myself. If in the future she reaches out to talk, I don't know if I would or just ignore her. It would depend on the nature of it. Even if I am not ready to reconcile with a person, I don't want to deny them the opportunity to apologize if it's something they feel will help them move forward. So if she wanted to talk to apologize and clear the air, maybe. But that second friend request after being directly asked not to contact either of us leaves me with no desire to reconcile. And just to note that after that third message that I did not answer, she was invited to talk to me and my husband initially, as I thought she was just uncomfortable with the compliment and wanted to set a boundary. And yesterday, when I texted her about wanting to take some space, I told her we could talk about it if and when she feels ready. Sorry it was a novel. I'm going to go watch some shows until I feel something. Right now, I'm just numb. Thanks for everything. Okay, so she sent another friend request after being asked not to contact you guys. Yikes. So here's my fringe crackpot theory. Let me know what you guys think. I think your friend's thinking is clearly skewed at the moment and it's not right. That second friend request makes me think that she believes your husband is not only capable of being unfaithful, but that she can get him to be unfaithful with her. She wants to take her power back. Someone else took that away from her and she wants to take it back. And unfortunately for your husband, he just said the wrong thing at the wrong time and wrong place. I mean, the compliment was innocuous, but she took that as an in. That triggered it for her. This guy could give her what she wanted. Anyway, like I said, that's just my crazy theory. OP, you did the right thing. Your friend needs to heal, but you don't need to be close to that drama right now. You just take care of your own. Thank you so much for sharing and all the best in the future to you and your husband. Now, let's finish this video with a quick mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance and it's by user Dubilendar. No refunds once you've stepped out of the store? Fine, I won't step out of the store. This happened in a large store in a European country. When you purchase something from them and for any reason want to return the item, their policy is that they never give money back. They only give you a voucher redeemable on the same day only. Now, I went to the store today and purchased quite a long list of items. I got home and my wife looks at them and says that we don't need some of them. I go back to the store, barely 20 minutes had passed, and the returns manager smiles as I tell her I've just purchased these items and would like to return them. She tells me that I stepped out of the store, so she can't refund me, only give me a voucher and I must buy something else. I'd already bought everything I needed. Then she tells me to take the products home and keep them for the next time I would need to buy something. Then I can come and get the voucher and redeem it. Imagine keeping a pair of shoes and a bowl and remember to bring them with you the next time you happen to need something. I tried to reason, but she was adamant. Those are the rules. You stepped out of the store, you don't get a refund. And then it clicked. I asked, so if someone wants to return an item without leaving the store, they get their money back? Yes. You see where this is heading. Malicious compliance kicking in. I ask to return the items and get the voucher. I take the voucher, get inside the store and find a product for exactly the same amount and buy it with the voucher. Then, right after the cashier, there's the returns manager, and straight from the cashier, I go to her. I hand her the random product I just bought and say, I would like to return this. I don't want it, and I never left the store. She is looking at me with barely contained rage in her eyes. I kid you not. The awkward pause was getting longer, and then her manager comes along, looks at us, and I smile at him and say, I never left the store and I would like to get a refund for this, please. He nods. Silent and not looking at me, she proceeds to refund me the money in cash. Company policy, right? Wow, nicely done, OP. That was awesome. Just using their own rules against them. That was fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing, OP. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.